Hello, and welcome to Session 2, Child Care Facility Needs and Opportunities. In today's session, we'll cover the following topics: child care facility types and key features, models and approaches to facility development, and developing for community needs. Section 1, Child Care Facility Types and Key Features. Our objective through this section is to help users identify the most common child care facility types and begin aligning them with defining features and components as you identify and design ideal spaces in your community. Within this toolkit, we will discuss the following common child care facility types: standalone child care centers, family child care homes, and co-located or mixed-use facilities. Let's begin with standalone centers. A standalone child care center can be defined as a singular commercial building whose sole purpose is to provide childcare. These facilities can house for or nonprofit operators and may be privately or corporate owned or part of a franchise network. You may have passed some on your morning commute or may have taken your own family to a child care center of this type. These facilities can range widely in their development needs and processes, which we will explore in more detail in this and future learning opportunities. Next are family child care homes, which are defined as owned or leased residential properties that have been licensed to operate as a family child care. These are most often for-profit business models overseen by a single owner that also resides on the property or in the home. Family child care homes are unique to other facility types, as there exists a specialized set of licensing rules and regulations that apply only to these facility types and will differ from others in Colorado. Lastly, are co-located child care facilities. There are increasing opportunities to pursue the co-location of childcare, which can help address more than one community priority or initiative simultaneously, and often has mutual benefit components for both business owners and community members utilizing the space. The most common approaches to co-location in Colorado are those child care facilities housed in faith-based organizations, higher education campuses, mixed-use commercial developments, and housing developments, where most often there's a designated portion of the building or site that's used for childcare services. There's often an operational or financial relationship between occupants and the childcare operator, and the space is primarily leased by the childcare provider operating in the space. In the next section, we will explore some of the current models and approaches to childcare facility development being utilized across various efforts and projects. Our objective through this section is not a comprehensive understanding of all pathways to facility development, but instead to understand the most common approaches and become familiar with the key drivers and success factors of each. This will help to align best fit options for work in your unique community and partnerships. For the purposes of this toolkit, we will discuss three primary categories under which child care facility development is pursued. Those are new construction, existing buildings and facilities, and co-location. Let's start with new construction. It's important to note that due to the expertise and project team needed, in addition to local processes and requirements, new construction for a child care facility will likely carry the longest timeline and the highest price tag of all the options discussed here. New construction can be a component of co-location, which we will discuss shortly, and should be carefully considered before pursuing in case lower cost or less time-intensive options are available. However, new construction offers many benefits as well, including the opportunity to be most responsive to community and operator needs by often having the greatest flexibility in facility design and optimization. In many communities, existing facilities and buildings need to be renovated or retrofitted to serve childcare needs. This can sometimes help revitalize main streets and other community neighborhoods, or help enhance the use of a current building or site for a service like childcare. Due to health and safety regulations, specialized building codes, and other environmental considerations, the cost and timeline for this type of development is highly variable and subjective. Pre-planning steps and discussions with building owners, local officials, and other departments can help to determine some of these factors before pursuing specific development efforts. As communities continue to develop, live, work, play communities, and utilize spaces to house multiple businesses and amenity types, co-locating childcare facilities within mixed-use developments is becoming more common throughout the state. These developments may involve a higher number of stakeholders or partners. They may utilize new market and other tax credits, and they have the potential to address multiple community needs, making it an attractive consideration for many pursuing this work. When determining the type of facility development that fits your project or community needs best, there are some critical steps to ensure a thorough, data-informed rationale and decision-making process, elevating your chances of both partnership and ongoing success. For this toolkit, we will cover developing ideal site criteria, engaging in financial modeling processes, site and operational feasibility assessments, and stakeholder engagement. These critical steps are all components of developing for community needs, which we will explore in the next section. Our objective here is to understand the key steps to developing childcare facilities aligned and responsive to community needs. Identifying and assessing community needs is a primary step in successful development, as it will direct the size, design, operational, and even partnership components of the childcare facility you are working to develop. This process provides a strong data-backed rationale, helps define strategies within existing priorities in the community, and identifies clear gaps, goals, and implementation steps. The key components of assessing community needs accurately and thoroughly begin with identifying childcare supply gaps and areas of highest need to help justify where development will be prioritized, as well as answer the question, what problem are we trying to solve, and who are we hoping to serve and support? One of the biggest ways to incentivize and facilitate childcare facility development is through the location and recording of existing facilities, unused and underutilized real estate assets that can be approved to house childcare, which can remove knowledge and awareness barriers and support operators and other partners in developing in your community. Lastly, because childcare has a critical impact on economic and workforce stability and growth, understanding employer and local business workforce goals and potential impacts of investing in childcare solutions can leverage additional assets and form new and strategic partnerships at the local level. Additional data actions to consider in becoming responsive to community needs and increasing chances of sustainable childcare ecosystems include identifying one or more ways to reallocate funds or assets to childcare development needs. This can take many forms, including current or potential funding streams, and identifying capital and other investment sources that have not previously been considered for this use, which we will explore in future sessions. The second is evaluating costs associated with recruiting and replacing local workforce and other employer impacts, which can quantify the current losses due to job vacancies, loss of productivity, and other factors impacted by childcare challenges, as well as the potential return on investment of supporting this critical need within the workforce. Third is creating local coalitions to offer feedback and provide input. Creating feedback opportunities from providers, families, and business leaders helps to understand and define unique and varying pain points that that can be considered within solution planning. Lastly is the opportunity to use local childcare supply and economic impact data to make the business case and help drive support and advocacy efforts at the local and state level to optimize childcare facility development processes and support structures in your community. Thank you so much for joining us for session 2. We hope this session was supportive and informative, and we look forward to seeing you in session 3.